So this video is going to show you how to set up a open and close window for a Go formative and or a time limit for a Go formative. So this is my home page and I have everything set up in folders. So I'm going to click my Algebra 2 folder. I'm going to go to Chapter 1. So before I show you how to do this, let me explain. If you set up a formative to open or close at a specific time, it's going to be scheduled, and what will appear next to the formative is this little calendar. Now, if the calendar's red, that's because it's closed. If the calendar's green, that's because it's open. And if it's yellow, what that means is just it is scheduled, but it's only scheduled for some students, not the whole class. So, what's nice about this is you have a combination of options. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to schedule something. So I've got a Chapter 1 quiz here. If I want to schedule it for my first period, I can click on this plus sign and it will take me to this screen. Or I can get to that exact same menu by just clicking on it and then clicking assign. So both of these get you to this menu. Now, I said I wanted to assign it to my first period class, so I'm going to click on this little bubble next to first period. Now, what most of us are doing are clicking assign and post. We're not going to do that. We're going to click adjust settings. So this is where all the fun stuff is kept. So first of all, if you want to assign something just to a specific student or students, you can click this right here. It populates a list of the students, and then you can pick the kids that you want this to go to. So this is really helpful if, say, in a class you have 3 students who are in resource, and so you want to assign the formative for them to take it during their resource period, and maybe they all have it during first period. Similarly, you might want to assign it to these 3 kids because you want to give them double time. So that's why you might want to pick some kids and not all. So I've got these 3 kids selected, and I want to give them double time, that's your time limit, or I want to schedule them to take it during their resource period, that's the schedule open close times. So in general, if I have a Go formative that I want kids to take or finish during my class period, I select this option. Let's say my class is from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Okay, so now on Thursday, today, from 9 to 10 a.m., this formative will be visible to my students. And after 10 a.m., it will close. They won't be able to edit or change or work on it anymore. So if that's all I want, if I want my whole class maybe, let's select the whole class. If I want my whole class to be working on this during my class time, I can set it up this way. Let's say this is a test and I want it only open during class period, but I want to give them a time limit of like 15 minutes. You can come here to time limit and you click on it. You can click, 15, 30, 60 or custom. So I want to do 15 minutes. So now, although this is open between 9 and 10, students will only be able to work on it for a max of 15 minutes. So if they open it at 9, it will close at 9:15. If they open it at 9:30, it'll close at 9:45. If they open it at 9:50, it will actually close at 10 because that's when it closes for everybody. So this is a nice setting if you're actually proctoring a quiz. And you want them to have a time limit and you want it to be during your class period. Let's say for a minute you want them to take an assessment at home as homework, but you don't want to schedule a time because you don't know when they're going to be working on it. You can just close that, and now the kids can take this assessment whenever they want, but it'll only be open for 15 minutes. So last but not least, let's do a scenario where I only want 3 kids to take it, and I want them all to take it during their resource period. I'm going to go ahead and schedule this. Maybe their resource period is from 10 to 11. So I'm scheduling it from 10 to 11 because that's when they're in resource. These kids get double time, so I'm going to set it up for 30 minutes. And then I can assign and post to Google Classroom. So a couple of things to keep in mind. You cannot set open and close times for individual students in one formative. So this one formative, these 3 kids all have to take this formative between 10 and 11. I cannot set it up so Jillian takes it from 10 to 11, but then Catherine takes it from 11 to 12. If I want Catherine to take it from 11 to 12, I have to make a whole new formative and schedule it from 11 to 12. So I'm going to show you how to do that next. So if I go back to my chapter 1 quiz, okay, so one cool thing about Go Formative is, maybe you might notice this, I have stuff that's labeled the same, which, you know, in Google Drive, if I have something labeled Chapter 1 Quiz and I try to label something else Chapter 1 Quiz, it'll call it Chapter 1 Quiz 2. So I want to give different class periods. These are all different quizzes. They're not copies of the same quiz. So this quiz is called Chapter 1 Quiz, but it has a different set of numbers in it than this one that I assigned to this class period. Now, the two class periods aren't going to know that. They think they're taking the same quiz because it has the same title. But this helps prevent cheating, right? So if students from 0 period try to text their friends in 4th period and say, here's the questions, that's actually not the questions. I changed them. The other thing that's kind of cool about this is, do you see this Chapter 1 Quiz X? So the X is my notation for extra time. So I have students who are in resource 3rd period, there's 4 of them that get extra time, and in 4th period there's 3 of them that get extra time. So I set up a clone of the Chapter 1 quiz here, and I just called it Chapter 1 Quiz X. And I only assigned it to the specific kids that got extra time. So let's say, for example, I have a student in 0 period and I want to give them extra time. So I can click on this Chapter 1 quiz and I can click copy, and it will make an exact copy of that quiz, which you can see appears up here. And then if you want, you can retitle it whatever you want. So I can call this Chapter 1 Quiz X, just like I did with the other one. And now when I go back, you'll see it's sitting up there at the top and it hasn't been assigned to anyone, so I know this is the new one that I just created. So now I want to assign this to a couple kids in my 0 period class. And then again, this is all you'll see. So this would select everyone in 0 period. It would just be open. It's not going to have any time settings. You have to click Adjust Settings. And now I can restrict it to individual students. So I'm going to restrict it to just this one student. And I am going to give this kid double time, and I'm going to schedule it for them to take it during their, maybe I schedule it for student help. So student help, let's say it's from 10 to 11. So they're going to take it with me during student support, and I'm giving them double time. And student support is, I'm just making this up, from 10 to 11. And that's, now I can assign and post, and now this is assigned with extra time just to that one student. I could add more students to this if I want, but like I said, I'm not going to be able to adjust these times or the time limit for each kid unless I make a new clone, and I do it that way. So hopefully this helps answer some questions. If there's anything that's not in this video, you can shoot me an email and I will get back to you.